guys, I am filming this video for Instagram and YouTube, so if you are from YouTube and you don't know who I am, my name is Jordan. I'm 27 years old and I'm having a forehead reduction surgery in a little less than a month. So this video is going to be me answering all of the questions I was sent on Instagram about the surgery. We'll be talking about how the surgery works, cost, my doctor, the scar, everything. I'm really excited. There just simply are not very many Q&A style videos or vlog style videos about this surgery like there are about other plastic surgeries. And there is a hair on my face. I just want to be that person who's going to be open, vulnerable, share, and talk about it. And I'm just really excited. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the questions. So before I answer any questions, I actually want to just tell you kind of my experience as a kid growing up with a very big forehead. I was pretty much made fun of for my forehead a lot growing up. It was kind of the one thing that people could really say that was just, it's true, like it's big, you know, girls are really mean, guys would make fun of it, it's fine. You know, it always bothered me though, and it really hurt my feelings. So, you know, if you have a big forehead, you were probably made fun of as a kid. They would say that you could land a plane on it. Oh, you know, real knee slapper. That it's a 5 head, a 6 head, you know, kids are mean, but you know what, it's fine. So got made fun of growing up, definitely was my biggest insecurity in high school. You know, any girl who was picking a fight with me or, you know, wanted to be mean would comment on my forehead. One comment that really stands out is that a girl who was in my grade behind my back said that my forehead looked like a dome. And it does. From the side, it protrudes a lot, but it doesn't help that it starts, you know, so far back. So she wasn't lying, but it hurt my feelings, you know, and so those are just some of the things I dealt with as a kid. Fast forward to when I'm an adult, I was 19 and I joined the United States Army. I am a veteran. I served 7 years in the Army and I recently just got out actually. So when I joined the Army and I went to boot camp, the drill sergeants like to pick on you, make fun of you. They find something that bothers you and then they kind of just roll with that. So one of these drill sergeants one day made fun of my forehead. I don't remember what he said, but he made fun of it and he saw that it really bothered me because I was still very insecure at the time. So, it was game on after that. Like every single day, this man would make a forehead joke in front of everyone. Every single day he would make fun of it. The first time he did it, I legitimately went into the bathroom and cried. The second time he did it, I just was like hanging my head low. I was so embarrassed, mortified, I mean, destroyed inside, you know? And then the third time he did it, I remember I just like wanted to keep a straight face so that he would just leave me alone. So I just kept a straight face out of spite. And every single day, this man said forehead jokes. Like, for example, these are some of the best forehead jokes that I've ever heard, actually. So one day we were in line to get our food at the DFAC and I grabbed a tray and in front of everyone, and you're not allowed to talk in there, so it's dead silent. In front of everyone, he was like, Smith, you know, that was my maiden name at the time. He was like, Smith, what are you doing? Grab another tray. One for you, one for your forehead. Like, okay. Literally screamed at the top of his lungs to the whole cafeteria. If you want to know the weather, if you want to know if it's hot or cold outside, just look at Smith's forehead. When it's cold, it shrinks. When it's hot, it looks bigger. Like, come on, bro. It's so funny looking back, but he did stuff like this every single day and other drill sergeants actually caught on and started trying to make fun of my forehead as well. So it was a blast, let me just tell you. But him doing that genuinely day after day after day after day, I started to just stop caring. And the jokes got lamer and lamer and lamer. Like at first the jokes were like super clever and unique and funny. And then it was just like, hey, forehead, you know? And by that point, I was so over it, I didn't even care. By the end of basic training, I was so desensitized to forehead jokes that I honestly didn't care anymore. And as I got older, there was nothing anyone could say that could hurt my feelings because nothing was gonna be the same as a grown man saying that in front of hundreds of people and trying to embarrass me. So I honestly was kind of cured from that insecurity. And now I am so good. Like, I don't care. There's no joke you could say that I probably haven't heard. It doesn't bother me anymore. And it honestly was the best gift that anyone's ever given me, was making fun of me like that. It helped me thicken my skin. It helped me see myself in a different light, because I was like, honestly, it's just a forehead. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. Ever since that point, I've been in a really good place with my forehead, and my skin has just become so thick about it that I'm not even bothered. So right now, I'm in a really good place mentally to get the surgery, because I've learned how to love myself regardless of having a big forehead and being insecure about it. I 100% have learned how to just love myself for who I am. And that doesn't mean that I don't want to fix it and I don't want it to be smaller, because I do, but I'm in a good space right now. And so I think that's really important when you're getting a big plastic surgery, is to just be in a really healthy mental space, so that you don't feel like this surgery is going to be the deciding factor on whether or not you can love yourself. I'm definitely excited. I know it's going to give me so much confidence. I'll be able to wear my hair however I want, and just feel more comfortable swimming and my hair getting slicked back, you know, that kind of thing. But I still will love myself no matter what. And so I think that's really important to note. So after getting out of the military and getting settled back into Texas, which is where my husband and I live, I started to think about the forehead reduction surgery, because I saw this doctor from Dallas on Instagram, and he does forehead reductions. And I started researching it more. I researched a bunch of doctors, and I just really felt peace about going with this doctor in Dallas. And I talked to my husband about it, and he agreed that he would get it for me. And, you know, he knows how much my forehead bothers me sometimes, and he just wanted to do that. And I'm so thankful to have a husband who is so supportive and willing to get the surgery for me. My doctor is out of Dallas. His name is Dr. Richardson, and he's the one that's going to be performing my forehead reduction. So one of the questions that I got was, how does this surgery actually work? A lot of people are familiar with the hair transplant surgery, which is where they harvest follicles out of the back of your head and they implant them along your hairline so that it can be a lower, thicker hairline. I am not wanting to get that surgery because it takes a long time for those follicles to grow. It's a lot of maintenance, and it's just, my forehead starts so far back that the amount of grafts that I would need to move it down, it would just look very unnatural, having a whole, you know, thick portion of hair from the back of my head. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna talk about how the surgery works, and if you're squeamish or sensitive, I would not watch this part. So the first thing I'm gonna tell you is that if you were to get a tape measure and measure the top of your hairline to your brows, the average woman's forehead, I believe, is between 5.5 to 6.5 centimeters. Mine, just for reference, is between 9 and 10. Okay, so I'm like double the average. Okay, my hairline starts very far back. It is very high. So if you want to measure your forehead and kind of see where you're at, that's a good place to start. So essentially what happens is they draw a marker and they trace your natural hairline. I will eventually pull my hair back and kind of show you my forehead in all its glory, but for now I'm just going to tell you how it works. They trace the hairline with a marker and they measure 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters. They make those marks down the forehead. Ultimately, it is usually hard to get to 3 centimeters, which is a full inch, but I have a lot of forehead elasticity. You can check that by taking your hands on your head, and this is gonna look really weird, but you push down on your forehead and see how much it will actually move. And not a lot of people's move. My doctor said that sometimes when he pushes down on someone's scalp, it doesn't move at all. And that's not very good for this surgery because you need some forehead elasticity. So there are actually forehead massages that I have to do every single day to just increase mine, which I can show you in another video. Essentially, they cut along your entire hairline. They pull your scalp back, and they do have to, you know, kind of detach it from your skull. And then they're gonna see how far they can pull it forward. And after they see that, they will cut the excess skin off and pull the forehead down and just stitch it. Sorry if you hear my dogs barking. Okay, so one of my most asked questions was about the scar and if the scar will be noticeable, if I'm nervous about how it's going to scar. and I'm really excited to answer this. So the scar is very, very thin, and the way that my doctor does it is in a way that allows baby hairs to sprout through the scar. So all of his patients, and I made sure to check when I was looking for a doctor on whether or not they have a lot of patients of color, because people of color do scar differently. And I am a mix of Black, white, and Lebanese, so I'm Middle Eastern as well. And just women and men, you know, with brown skin do scar differently at times. And so I wanted to make sure that my doctor had experience with that as well. And he does. He has so many before and afters of fully Black people, of mixed people, of brown people, and all of their scars looked beautiful. Like, you literally could not see them. And so that really gave me a lot of peace. And yeah, the scar is really thin. They stitch it. It's dissolvable stitches. You get them out at 1 week post-op. So I'll be going back at the beginning of March to get the stitches out. And yeah, I have no fears about the scar at all. His technique makes it literally invisible. It's so beautiful, and I'm just so excited. So yeah, that's everything about the scar. So I'm just gonna get this question out of the way. A lot of people wanted to know how much this surgery costs. I wanna say that like the average forehead reduction is gonna cost anywhere between $8,000 and up. My surgery, and I don't really like talking money, but I will just say that my surgery is under $10,000. It's in the $8,000 range. So yeah, I honestly don't know the exact number off of my head, but I know that with everything, I'm paying in the higher $8,000 range for my surgery. Okay, just something quick. Another question that I got asked was, how is the recovery process? How is the healing process? So the day of surgery, they send you home with this big head dressing, and then the next morning you come back and they take a look at the wound and just make sure that everything is okay. They make sure you're not in any kind of, extreme pain. From what I've been told from my surgeon, there is not a lot of pain involved. You may have like a headache type feeling. And then after the surgery, you will have numbness at the top of your head, just waiting for the nerves to reconnect, after they basically scalp you and then, whatever. Hey, if you're not ready to literally get scalped and have it yanked down and stitched, then maybe you're not ready for the surgery, but I am, more than ready. But yeah, you get your stitches out 1 week post-op, and then that's it. You just kind of care for the scar. There's some things that they recommended for the scar. I can do a whole video about that. But from what I've been told, the healing process is really, really easy and really nice. And I don't think I'll be allowed to work out for like 10 to 14 days, which I'm fine with because I really just want to have this done. Okay, so another question I got was, will this lift my brows and give me a super surprised look 24/7? Absolutely not. They don't move this at all unless you want to do a brow lift as well, which they do on a lot of their older patients. But this part does not move. It's this part that moves. So they're basically pulling this part down and just stitching it. And so this part of your face just stays as is. There'll be no like tension on your eyebrows, lifting it up and making you look really surprised. But if you are an older patient or you do feel like your eyes are low or you want a brow lift, that is something additional that they can do simultaneously. A lot of people ask me how I'm feeling about it. I did mention earlier that I have a ton of peace about myself and I'm in a really good place of love for myself. So I think this is the perfect time for me to do it. But as far as the surgery goes, like if I'm scared or nervous, honestly, I don't make fear-based decisions when, I am a faith-filled person. So I have prayed. I feel a ton of peace about it in my spirit. And when I feel peace about something, I just do it. You know what I mean? If I want to do it and I feel peace about it, I go for it. So at this point, I have a ton of peace. I love and trust my doctor 100%. My only fear is that I will wake up and it will still look big to me. And it's kind of like you are paying a lot of money to have a smaller forehead, and ultimately they can only bring it down so far, and I already know that it's going to look beautiful, and I don't even need it to be brought down that much to, you know, make a big difference. Anything will be, you know, very significant. But my doctor did tell me after I told him that he wanted me to measure an inch from my hairline. So I measured an inch, and he said to trace, you know, kind of the shape of your natural hairline around your head. And he said, pull all your hair back, look at that inch, and picture it being moved down that far. And he said, be honest with yourself. Will you be satisfied if that's as far as I can go? And when he said that, I was like, okay. In my mind, an inch just didn't seem like a lot. But later on, when I did it, I was like, wow, an inch is actually more than you think, especially when it's on your face. So I measured an inch, I traced, you know, my hairline shape, and I was like, wow, like if he could get me down this far, I would be more than satisfied. It was a very significant change. And so I think doing that and him communicating that to me just made me feel even better, because, you know, he said an inch is what, you know, like, let's just say that's as far as I could get you. I need you to be realistic with yourself and just be honest and, you know, see if you would be satisfied with that. He's like, because I don't want you to wake up disappointed, you know? So I really appreciated that. And after doing it, I was like, yes, an inch would be amazing. I would be more than happy with that. And so at this point, you guys, I am so at peace. I'm so excited. I have been waiting my whole life for this. I Googled forehead reduction surgery when I was like 12 on our dial-up internet, and I saw some doctor from Beverly Hills. The price was like $25,000 or something crazy. And I was just like, wow, like I'll never be able to get this surgery unless I someday, when I'm an adult, fly to Beverly Hills and have enough money to get it. You know, I literally was just like, okay, I just kind of accepted the fact that I'll probably never be able to get it. And I never really looked into it until I got out of the military and was just kind of in a place where it was a possibility for me. So I am so excited. I'm so excited to share this journey. I've already gotten so many messages from women who feel like they would really love to have a surgery like this. And so I'm gonna be as open and as transparent as possible. And oh God, I'm choking. Whew. Okay, sorry about that. I'm gonna end this video here. I can make so many more videos. I just wanted to answer some of the main questions that I got on Instagram. And before I go, I'm gonna show you my forehead, just so you see, and you can compare and maybe decide if yours is as big as mine. The middle part, you guys, it hides a lot. Like, it hides the sides. But when you pull your hair all the way back and you see kind of like how big it is compared to the rest of my face, I mean, it goes back really, really far. And when I relax my forehead, I mean, it's huge. Like, it is, like, it's fine. Like, you don't have to be like, oh no, it's not that big. Like, and it moves a lot. Like, look how much this moves. So if it's like pulled all the way back, I mean, and this is so cringe, me doing this right now, because I never show my forehead relaxed like this. But if I'm getting it fixed and I'm gonna share and be open, then this is what it is. So, okay, that is all for now. Enough vulnerability for the day. Let me just close these curtains. Thank you guys for all the questions. I really can't wait to share more and my journey and everything. And if you have any more questions at all, please comment below and let me know, and I will make more videos. Until next time, guys. Until next time.